Today we're doing something a little different. We're not just reading an ancient text, we're actually going to build from it. Our source is this incredibly detailed blueprint, almost like an architect's plan, straight from the book of Exodus, chapter 27. So let's jump right in and see what it says.
So, that brings up a really fascinating question, doesn't it? How on earth do you take these ancient words on a page, filled with all these measurements and materials, and turn them into something you can actually see and understand? Well, that's exactly our mission here, to transform this text into a visual reality.
Okay, so let's get into it. Think of us as architects for the next few minutes. We're going to take these specific instructions from Exodus 27 and unpack them piece by piece.
And here it is. This is the source text itself. And wow, is it dense? I mean, it is just jam-packed with all these specific details, measurements like cubits and materials like shittim wood and brass. Our job is to make sense of all this. So where do you even start with a project like this? Well, the blueprint tells us to start right in the middle, at the very heart of the whole thing, the altar. And make no mistake, this isn't just a piece of furniture, it's the central focus, it's the anchor point, and everything else is going to be built around it. And the text is super clear. It gives us a step-by-step guide. First, you build a frame out of something called shittim wood, which is believed to be a type of really tough acacia wood that grows in the desert. Then, you cover the whole thing in brass. Next, you add these 4 horns to the corners, which, by the way, was a big symbol of power back then. And you guessed it, they're also covered in brass. Finally, you make a brass grate that sits in the middle. It's incredibly precise.
Okay, so we know how it's built, but how big is this thing? The text is precise, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. Which immediately brings up the question, right? What in the world is a cubit? Well, it's actually pretty simple. A cubit is an old unit of measurement, and it's based on the human body. Basically, the length of a forearm from your elbow to the tip of your middle finger. For us, a good rule of thumb is to think of it as about 18 inches, a foot and a half. And this little detail, it's the key to unlocking the scale of this whole project.
All right, so let's put that to use. 5 cubits. That means the altar was a perfect square, about 7.5 feet by 7.5 feet. Its height was 3 cubits, so that's 4.5 feet tall. Yeah, we're not talking about a little table here. This thing was a serious, commanding piece of work right in the middle of everything.
And the detail doesn't stop there. The blueprint even lists out all the tools you'd need for the altar. And look at this list. Pans, shovels, basins, flesh hooks, and fire pans. See a pattern? Everything is made of brass. And that makes total sense, right? Brass is tough, it's durable, and it can handle a lot of heat. There's a clear theme of strength and endurance going on here.
Okay, so the altar is built. It's standing there right in the center. Now the blueprint zooms out. We're going to move to the next phase, building the perimeter, this huge courtyard that's going to enclose the whole sacred area.
And whoa, this is where you really get a sense of the scale. This courtyard is a giant rectangle. The long sides, north and south, are 100 cubits each. That's 150 feet. The shorter sides are 50 cubits or 75 feet. To put that in perspective, we're talking about an enclosure that's half the length of a football field. This is massive.
This table really lays it all out for us, showing just how specific the text is. So, for those long 100-cubit sides, you need 20 pillars sitting in brass sockets. For the shorter, 50-cubit west side, you need 10 pillars. But what I find really cool is the mix of materials. The heavy-duty stuff, the pillars, the sockets, that's all made of strong brass. But the little connecting pieces, the hooks holding up the curtains, those are silver, a much more precious metal. And the curtains themselves are made of fine twined linen. Now, the eastern side, that's where things get interesting. That's the main entrance. It's the same width, 50 cubits, but right in the middle is this huge 20-cubit gate. And the hangings here aren't just plain linen. No way. The text says they're intricately woven with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It's this beautiful burst of color that tells everyone this is the way in. So, there you have it. The structure is all laid out. We've got our altar, our pillars, the linen walls, that amazing colorful gate. You'd think the blueprint would be done, right? But it's not. The chapter ends not with another building material, but with a command about what has to happen inside this space.
The final command is this, that they bring the pure olive oil beaten for the light to cause the lamp to burn always. Isn't that something? After all that detailed construction, all that talk of brass and silver, the whole thing pivots to this, a perpetual flame, an eternal light.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it?
After all this painstaking work to build the perfect physical enclosure, the final, most important instruction is about keeping a light on inside it. It kind of makes you wonder, what's the purpose of any space, no matter how carefully it's designed, if not for the life and the light that it's built to contain?